Mom makes sick baby sleep in strange place. She stood next to her wailing child. It had been months of agony for the poor boy. Everything the doctors suggested ended up making things worse. It had got so bad that she couldn't even hold him anymore. Little did she know, the solution was in that very room, and it was so simple. Stephanie cradled her baby boy, Isaiah, as her husband applied more cream. It had started as a small cut, nothing out of the ordinary, but a few days later, something else appeared. A rash started to bloom around the neck and her son wouldn't stop scratching. The worried mom rushed to the doctor. The man's white coat and 7 years of school was something that most people would trust, even Stephanie. And even if she had doubts about his diagnosis. The doctor prescribed topical steroids for eczema and sent them on their way. But the family would soon find that it didn't have the effect they were expecting. The cream seemed to help, at first. The rash cleared up and the boy's sink turned back to its lovely pink. Stephanie let out a long sigh of relief, thinking it was just one of those things that happens to kids. However, the dermatitis came back, and it brought a new, unpleasant friend. Stephanie watched in horror as Isaiah's skin problem spread to his entire body. And it wasn't just a patch of red anymore. The skin started to weep and take on tints of blue. It looked like he had been burned. The doctor's solution? More no breastfeeding and more steroids. And not just creams either. The mom bawled as she watched them inject liquid steroids into the little thing's body. Life for the new family was a roller coaster of outbursts, creams, frail hope, and crying. They also couldn't use anything with sense, because even little things like fabric soften would cause an outbreak. Things took a troubling turn. They couldn't go outside anymore for fear that something in the air would trigger them. The only thing that could go against Isaiah's skin was medical gauze, because even the softest towel was too rough. There was no peace or respite from the pain for her poor, suffering son. Stephanie decided to act, really act. Everyone had told her never to do her own research. But at this point, the doctors were ignoring them or insisting on the eczema route. But things were getting ridiculous. The doctors clearly had no idea. She pulled out her laptop and scoured the internet for answers. Then, two interesting things happened. The first one appeared as she sat in the living room, reading over something about home remedies. It had been commonplace to hear crying in their home, so when things finally went silent, she felt her heart freeze. Had her worst nightmare come true? Stephanie ran to her husband. There he held Isaiah under the flowing tap water, trying to give him a gentle bath. It wasn't enjoyment on her son's face. It was a fraction of relief. They had the first answer: how to make him feel a little better. She grabbed his small bathtub and hammock. She kept Isaiah there for hours, him in the hammock and the hammock in the tub, and a gentle stream of lukewarm water flowing over his body. She stayed beside him for hours as she slept in the kitchen sink. She had to find a cure. It was days of reading while sitting beside her bawling boy. And as the pages and pages of information piled up, she noticed one strong culprit. More than one parent had described the exact same symptoms as Isaiah. It was all because of topical steroids withdrawal. She knew what she had to do next. The first step was to stop listening to her doctor go on and on about using creams. She threw them in the garbage. Next was experimenting with various homeopathic, homemade skin balms. After several tiny skin patch tests, she found one that gave results. It was a simple mix of lemongrass oil and zinc cream. It was unbelievable to think they had the solution in their kitchen the entire time. It was like a huge wave of relief for everyone. The crying lessened and the young child would point to the nearby jar anytime he needed relief. Over the next few months, she watched as the blistering red skin vanished and the pink skin returned. Hair grew thick and fluffy and a smile returned. Even though they never found the original cause of the dermatitis, Stephanie is thankful every day that her boy is once again healthy and happy.